works, but okay. 820, let's go. Skip it up. Shoot it up.
Shoot it up.
No. Though I guess I could say I'm the Sprite Man. That could be the joke there. But no, we're not doing that. I abort the joke, chat. Hi, how you doing? Welcome back.
Like a Sprite Zero in these trying times?
Yes. Many, many jokes to be had. Welcome, chat. It is Fail Portrayal time once again. It's just me and Loth for now. Though I'm sure Axe will at some point upon realizing the stream is live now. And Dallas will probably stumble in, I say drunkenly, even though I don't even know if he drinks, but he will, you know, bull in a china shop his way in at some point, probably just as we get to Bestial.
Sorry, I just had a feeling, looking at the card you used for the stream title,
yeah.
I can only get mad Shockboy and Lava Girl vibes from it.
Well, we'll get some fun in here. There's some stuff to talk about sprites, like etymology and vibes and stuff. As usual, hey, this is Fail Portrayal. If this is your first time here, we look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Card art and talk about them. And sometimes we make fun of them if they're bad, but also, as you'll see today, because our plan is to do Bestial and Sprite. Sprite first, because they're technically in the order, but Bestial cards do come right after Sprites in the Valuable Book EX3, so it is the correct order, chat. But both of these are good. The Bestials don't really have a pure deck, especially not in the OCG, where I think like almost every Bestial name is like limited to one. But they're both very, very powerful engines you can put in, and Sprite decks that are mostly Sprite actually are like really good. There's a reason why Sprite Elf is banned in the TCG and OCG formats, but for some reason they printed Sprind, even though I'm pretty sure Sprite Sprind is a Link 2 that's supposed to replace Sprite Elf being banned, but they added Sprind to Master Duel. Elf is still not banned. I don't even know if Elf is limit 1. I think you can still play 3 Elf. It's kind of silly. But we're not here to talk about Master Duel's ban list. Though I am playing Master Duel again because they've announced the Fairy Fiend Festival. They're going to do a monster-type festival, fairies and fiends only.
Gonna lab it out.
Yeah, and they just added some new lab cards, so I need to get dust and/or gems.
I'm scared if I try to go in there because I'm expecting several labs and also Unchained nonsense.
Also, all the new Dark World shit is in. That's all fiends. So
I wonder why they're doing it.
Expect to see a lot of lab, a lot of Dark World. I don't even know what the fairy site is. Are people going to try and make Drytron work? We'll see. I think one of the loner decks is literally Labyrinth, so that's funny. But one of them is Cyber Angels.
Best of both worlds, Dark Lords.
Could also see some of that. Those are funny. But also, hey, before we get into the business, you know, it's Fail Portrayal. I appreciate your likes and your commentos and your subscribes. But also, while I don't like to get too much hat in hand, as you may know, I am trying to budget out a new computer, though Lucky has offered to help me with some of that. So I need to like finalize what model I actually want to get for real and then figure out that stuff. But I will also probably need a new phone soon at some point. My current one is physically getting a little fatigued. It still operates okay. It's just, you know, very awkward, and I don't know when it'll actually like physically finally give up the ghost. So as always, I appreciate your financial support. Super chats and like channel memberships and stuff are cool, but very relevant to Fail Portrayal. One great way to support, you know, financially the channel and me right now is our Patreon, because we do charge up front, but that means I get your money right away. And our Fail Portrayal poll is still running, so if you don't support us at the 5 and up level, consider giving us $5 to vote in that, and that will be handy. But let me start pulling up some sprites. So, Sprite is interesting lore-wise. Basically, you saw a little bit of this preview last time, but the Sprite is kind of the power behind the Therians and the Disco Coliseum thing. They're related to Agudo, and they're little thundery guys. They're literally thunder-type monsters. They're either dark or fire. I do not know if there is a rule why some are fire and some are dark. The general vibe is that the name Sprite, while it is also the name of like a little fairy or whatever, actually here's a great way to start before I even get into card art. A Sprite is also an atmospheric phenomena. aka this. A sprite, or specifically a red sprite, is a kind of upper atmospheric lightning effect. You can see literally the altitude in kilometers. So you can tell it's very high. You know, this is occurring at between like 80 to 90 kilometers up in the air. So sprites are upper atmospheric lightning activity. And in addition to being named after a kind of fairy. So, you know, it's a cute little reference you can do. You know, there's some red plasma and stuff going on. Similarly, a lot of the other names that sprites have are named after some other upper atmospheric phenomena there is. There are upper atmospheric ideas, you know, lightning called blue jets, blue starters, gigantic jets, elves, trolls, pixies, ghosts, gnomes, etc. So yeah, they're basically the preferred usage for this kind of effect is called transient luminous event, TLEs. There's a lot of those that since we've been flying planes higher and higher, we've identified. And so a lot of the sprites draw their name from that. In addition, sprite is a kind of fairy that is similar to a Spriggan, which is similar to Springan/Springuns.
Mm-hmm.
So the original OCG translation of these, I believe, is just sprite, as in like the perfectly normal name of a creature, phonetically, spuraito. So a lot of people, you may have heard this archetype referred to as splite, because one, I don't know if how many people were familiar with the concept of upper atmospheric lightning like this, a sprite. But also, if it was called sprite, that would be very awkward. Right?
Yep.
Because of card names. So, I think translators like Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization kind of assumed that it would be fixed somehow and went with splite. That is not what they did. They just called it sprite, but with a GHT.
Yeah.
SP right.
So sadly, I can't run Raging Flame Sprite in this.
No. I mean, actually, well, what level is Raging Flame Sprite?
I think it's a 3 actually.
Ah, yeah. It'd be funny. Because, hey, sprites are all based around being level, rank, or link 2. And they are often non-discriminatory. As opposed to where we started, you know, we started talking about old school, you know, E heroes and D heroes and stuff, which while they have their own, you know, good variants, have historically also been kind of all over the place. And then we got into Duelist Terminal Hidden Arsenal archetypes, which were bad. Sprite is very good because they are usually not picky other than being limited to Link 2s, Rank 2s, or Level 2s. So there are a whole fuck ton of cards you can play in Sprite. I'm sure whenever Dallas shows up, he will tell you all of his favorite tricks for Sprite.
I also just double-checked. It's probably for the best they didn't go with the original Sprite, because then they could probably do some dumb nonsense with the Saruvis, because the ritual spell is Sprite's Blessing.
Yeah. There's a few weird things they could do. Also, obviously, while trademarks are separate, the original spelling is close to a drink. And I'm gonna be honest, some of the names of Sprite cards sound like flavors of soda.
Raging Flame Sprite.
Speaking of which, hey,
DD
it's Sprite Blue.
Yes, Sprite Blue.
Alphabetically, the first one. So, this gives you all you need to know about the aesthetics of sprites. They are little plasma punk children who basically look like they came out of, you know, the supposed remake of Jet Set Radio.
I was going to say The World Ends With You.
That's also a good one, yes. Like, they have huge fucking jackets covered in patches. I'm going to look up the trivia page in a second to see if those patches mean anything. Giant fucking shoes. Headphones in this case, and thunderbolts. You will notice there is an astronomical symbol on this, now that it's full blown up. So I guess, you know, last time I said that Therions could be more constellations. I guess that apparently some of the sprites are supposed to represent some of the other members of the Zodiac that aren't covered by Therion. Dear Konami, please don't make that a hard and fast rule. Sprites and Therions will be dumber if you keep them separated because you only gave each of them half a Zodiac. You need more than 6 main deck cards. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Also, you haven't missed much filthy casual.
Now, we've been
Don't
going about
worry.
10 minutes. This is our literal first card, Sprite Blue. I was telling people about upper atmospheric lightning. But yeah, Sprite Blue. He's a blue boy.
Yeah.
Love the background work on
I'm
this, by the way.
Yeah, the background work is good work. The shoes, though, just the fucking stick-ass legs going into the giant shoes.
Yeah, it's funny. Also, the trivia
Giving
page...
me Mad Kingdom Hearts vibes.
Yeah. The trivia page doesn't say if those patches mean anything, so I don't know. I'm sure they probably have some significance, but yeah. Otherwise, he's cool. He's a baller.
I
Maybe he
mean, I
wishes he was a little bit taller.
appreciate how fucked up his face looks. If you can even say that's a face.
Yeah, it's very stylized. He's got kind of a weird
Yeah.
thunderbolt through it.
I really had to put away my feelings of how I feel playing against this deck, looking at this.
I mean, this is...
I've seen this motherfucker so many times.
Yeah, I think this is also part of why Sprite is popular. They look rad, but they also happen to be a really strong meta deck. So Sprite Blue is a Dark Thunder, level 2, 1100 attack, 1000 defense. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon a Sprite Blue once per turn this way. I believe most of them have that clause, but we'll double check if they don't. If blue is special summoned, add a Sprite monster from your deck to your hand except blue. You can only use this effective blue once per turn. So blue is your Stratos. Not exactly because he's only on special, but it's really easy. You just normal summon any level 2. You can special blue. Blue adds another one. That other one can usually be specialed. And so we go.
It's just a conga line of assholes.
That is really, unfortunately, their deck style is to just make a lot of guys.
Keelan, I have a very simple answer for you. I'd rather be a Spriggan. Why? I get to be a little dude. A little goop dude. And inhabit weapons.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there is an undercurrent that they're because they're related to Agro, which is the AI that runs the disc. The disc is supposed to be a UFO. I think there's an idea that they're space aliens, but they are also kind of possessed of this otherworldly energy. So what exactly is going on with them is a little vague, you know, as befits a weird, what do you call it?
The birds are calling to me.
Yeah, the birds are calling. But I was going to say, they're kind of like a weird, you know, RPG side story, so it makes sense. But we'll move on to our next one, Sprite Carrot.
It's a good thing there's no Sprite Owlbash Dragon, right?
Yeah, he wasn't there. He missed that part.
Look at this fucking body glove asshole.
Yeah. Look, it's a girl one. There are actually a couple. But she's bright pink. She's wearing, you know, super mega thigh-high boots. Has a body glove, though she's got what would normally be a boob window, but appears to be a plasma window instead. And got this fluffy-ass puffy jacket.
I enjoy the fact that the hair also just comes through the jacket. That's a really nice touch, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny little stuff.
And a flail tail, whatever the fuck that is meant to be.
Yeah. And also got, like, vents on her jacket and shoes and stuff. Plasma everywhere. Same fucking rad background.
Yeah, if like you could say the jacket was torn off, you could just be like, yep, this is the Pink Ranger. It's got some bits that look like it could be. Oh, Season 2 material. I don't want them to make more Sprite cards, if I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah. I don't... Unlike Therion, I don't actually think Sprite needs new cards.
Although what you could do is just Albaz looking at the sprites like, what the fuck?
Is there a Gemini symbol? They say there's a Gemini symbol on her clothes, but I can't actually make it out anywhere, so...
This is meant to be the Sprite card based off my star sign? Get fucked.
Apparently. Allegedly. Again, yeah. I assume it's meant to be one of these things, like her jacket pins or something, but like I said, I can't actually make it out in detail.
What the fuck
Maybe
is
it's
meant to
in
be
a
her two
concept art.
long legs? Are the symbols?
Well, blue was supposed to be Libra, so I don't fucking know.
What?
Yeah, he's got the Libra signs on his shoes.
Oh, God damn
Yeah,
it.
it's weird. But yeah, I don't actually know if the sprites quote-unquote survive Golgonda. I don't even know if they show up. I think Sargaz and Kit just, like, to beat him up and take their stees. But we'll talk about spell traps later. But yeah, Carrot. Carrot's our first fire one. By the way, that's a very unique combo. Fire Thunder. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh has done that a lot, which is neat.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
So Sprite Carrot is another level 2, 1000 attack, 1900 defense. It has the special summon clause. If you control a level 2 or link 2 monster specifically, not just a rank 2 in that case, you can special it. When your opponent activates a spell card or trap card effect, or specifically, rather, activates a spell, trap card, or effect, quick effect, tribute one other level rank or link 2 monster, negate that effect. If you tributed a rank 2 or level 2 monster to activate that effect, you can destroy that card. You can only use this effect to Sprite Carrot once per turn. So yeah, this is the other half of their effects. You've got a couple of them which search cards when summoned, and then the other half, when your opponent does a thing, they are a conditional negate if you tribute a 2.
Yeah, and from what the sounds like with this card in particular, it's the first effect. You can't have a link to. Like, did you say it was a rank?
No. This one requires level or link 2 monsters to special it.
But the negate effect is level 2 or rank 2, right?
No, it's all 3. Any 2.
No. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No,
But,
it's
yeah,
they've got a
this-
lot of interesting weird overlap, but yeah, it's any 2.
Okay. Considering how often they make level 2 assholes or any kind.
Yeah. You have plenty of fodder usually to sack. Generally, I believe Carrot is not considered the most popular one. Like as Loth indicated, this is a endless conga line of assholes deck. Like even if you're playing pure Sprite, trust me, I have tried to play Live Twin Sprite. I had to give it up because it requires way too long a turns, even over regular Live Twin. It requires way too much brain power. But trust me when I say, you end up searching and summoning a lot of fucking guys.
The amount of times a Sprite player will have you sit there as they go through their turn, only to immediately surrender once you get like 1 or 2 things out, is
when they realize that they did all that work for nothing. Yeah,
it's infuriating because it's like, okay, I sat through your turn.
Same as if you run into somebody playing my least favorite wombo combo, Runic Sprite, because then you're also getting your deck banished at the same time. I did actually last night, I didn't mention it, but I did sit through an entire Runic Sprite combo loft. You may remember me talking about that while we were watching videos. That did end with me playing all the way to the outs and getting decked out. Because he couldn't fucking... He couldn't actually fucking kill me.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I
happens.
ran out
It's
of
like,
cards. But
I
yeah.
hate Runic.
Yeah, Runic is unfortunately really weird and silly, especially because that... My problem with the design space of Runic, while it's very funny, is that because it has that battle phase restriction, that doesn't stop your opponent from activating all the Runic cards, so they just have to skip their battle phase for forever, so you don't actually lose the fucking game. They just go until they run out of gas. Oops, no, don't save as one copy.
So yeah, we don't have anything else to say about this, what was it?
Yeah,
Sprite?
this is Carrot, yeah. Named after
Carrot?
actually a literal kind of the lightning sprites I talked about is called a Carrot Sprite.
Oh, okay, thank you, that makes sense. I was just like, this ain't orange.
No, I think it is more of a reddish pink in real life, which is probably why they went with that color. It is funny that they called her Carrot, though. But yeah, Carrot being the spell trap negate is usually the one that gets picked last for dodgeball, but you will still see it.
I have been blasted with Carrot.
This is one you still see a lot. This is Jet.
I haven't seen this one, so...
Oh, really? You don't see this guy? I mean, he's semi-limited now, so...
The most Jet Set Radio-looking motherfucker out of them so far.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
For a higher Runic? What the fuck?
Ugh.
Like, sure, like, you can banish my deck, don't subject me to furries along with it.
Just get Rafale locked.
This is me saying that.
Art-wise, Jet, yeah, he's got a big, super long coat, but he's also got, like, his little horns or ears coming out of it. He's got a hood, like a Dorcas. You know.
This is just Neku from the World Ends review.
Yeah, kind of. He does kind of look like he's forming his lightning into a knife or a gun or something up here. I'm not sure what he's doing.
I do appreciate his weird-ass leg. Like that one leg that just kind of curves in.
Yeah, it's kind of his legs are kind of
backwards.
noodly. Yeah, that's cool. He's made of lightning or plasma, so it makes sense. He does appear to have jet
he doesn't
boosters
have
under
to
his
conform
coat,
to.
but like
It's
I
better
like all the
podcast.
coloring and shit in this. Hold on, let me double check what this is. What astrological symbol is supposed to be in this one? Sagittarius.
This guy looks like he's meant to be like the rival to Blue.
I could see that.
He's
And I mean,
he's
he's
a
the other
0
searcher,
to
so
Mega
that
Man.
would make sense. Yeah. Also, I guess that's Sagittarius on his coattails / jet booster there. Yeah. I do think it's kind of funny that he has basically like no pants, like he's just leg and shoe, but he's got like really long sleeves with gauntlets. That's kind of funny.
Typical like ye old 90s cartoon fashion, which is here's a bird wearing no pants.
Yeah,
But
I
the
would
shirt,
definitely. I mean, honestly, these guys have strong like cartoon vibes. Like, you would totally see like on Kids WB Saturday morning sprites at 10. Unnecessary amounts of unnecessary amounts of electric guitars.
Yeah, I can hear it. Oh god.
Just think of like the original X-Men theme. Jet's cool. He's okay.
The 90s X-Men theme?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
There.
My favorite part is just them all running together at the end. You just see fucking Professor X in his chair.
Man, he got places to be, okay?
He can't run, but he'll be here.
But yeah, so I mentioned it earlier. Jet is basically the opposite of Blue. He is a Dark Thunder, level 2. He's got 1300 attack, but only 700 defense. If you control a level or rank 2 monster, you can special summon him just like Blue. If he's special summoned, add a sprite spell trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use this card effect once per turn. So yeah, very often you will see Blue search Jet if you don't start with a Jet. Or you'll just
see why this guy was put to 1.
Yeah, he's limited in the OCG, and I think he's semi-limited in Master Duel right now. Because sprites do have good spool traps. They have good spell traps. One of which special summons from deck. So
the spell traps are powerful.
yeah, Smashers and Starter are both pretty good.
It's like, okay, you got really good main deck monsters to bring out even more main deck and extra deck monsters.
Yeah.
So let's give them even more powerful spell trap cards. Like, what the fuck?
Let's give them a literal starter. Which, and I don't think because the levels don't line up, I don't think Sprite Punk exists, just because, again, Sprite is basically takes anything with a level 2, and that's not how Punk works. They're a Synchro Fusion archetype. But you can do a lot with Punk with lowered life points anyway, so there might be some funny stuff to get in there. So now we're going to talk about definitely the I think least represented member of the squad, because he is the battle trick one. You can tell he's not considered
Omega,
very good. Good.
You just reminded me because it was all about level 2s. I have actually come across one Sprite player in the past who threw fucking Foxfire at me.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that
because it's a level
stuff.
2.
Yeah.
And he comes back. What the fuck is this?
So this is Sprite Pixies. If you've never seen this one, there is a reason. This one's the battle trick. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I literally don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess there's 3 little gremlin sprites in their weird Mr. Handy type robot with all the tools they need. Yeah, they've got a claw ball. They've got like a cutter. They've got a telescope. They got a drill.
I can see the fucking symbol, yeah, the star symbol on the thing.
Yeah.
So Aquarius?
Yes, you are correct. This is supposed to be Aquarius. Which I guess it makes the most sense out of all of them. They are kind of in a jar. But yeah.
3 flame dudes in a jar.
Help, we're stuck in here. Let us out. Oh my god. That's what this
do
one that's what
appreciate that
this
they
one
both
on the right here is saying. Let me out. Oh my god. Ding, ding, ding.
It feels like if you just cut that out, it's like, huh, what does the telescope see? You're a bitch. I do
He's
appreciate
over
they've got different face expressions.
Yeah, there's a lot of little detail. And again, obviously, well, I'm sure it was not, hand drawn. These background effects are really great, so they're all very distinct. So that's cool. But yeah, this card was a common in Pote and is a normal in Master Duel, so you understand that it is the one sprite card that is not super good.
Yes.
I often said that Carrot is usually last to be chosen for Dodgeball. Pixies is usually straight up never picked. Like, you summon a Pixies if you can. If you just happen to draw, like, one. You might play it as, like, a one-of just in case for an extra name, but it's not very popular. But yeah, the art is cute, but also, like, completely fucking different from all the other ones. Other than their little fire faces. Like, it's weird.
I really do appreciate the color grading in the background, though. It's very nice for this one.
Whoever did the background work on this is phenomenal. But yeah, so Sprite Pixies is another Dark Thunder. It's another level 2, obviously. I think it has the highest, overall attack and defense, because it's 14-14. So, actually decent. And I think that makes sense from what it's supposed to be doing. So if you control a level or rank 2 monster like the other Darks, you can special it. During damage calculation, if another level, rank, or link 2 monster you control batters an opponent's monster, quick effect, send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. That monster gains attack and defense equal to the opponent's monster's attack and defense until the end of this turn. These effect Pixies once per turn. So, it's not quite like exactly an Honest or Kalut, but it is a...
I was about to say.
It is a battle trap hand trick effect. And it does it from hand or field, so, like, obviously being a 2, it's fodder for the negates. We'll talk about the other negate one in a second. But, yeah, Pixies is the least picked, I think.
Yeah, like, I can see, like, the ideas you can do. Like, if you bring out, like, say, for instance, Sprite Elf and, like, special summon a guy from the graveyard, you can do that. But I can see how, like, with other things, it's like, you'd rather summon something else.
Yeah. Because it does its job as a Kalut from your hand anyway. The main thing is just, I think, like I said, it's another name, and sometimes you want one more guy so you can get another tribute with Carrot or our next card, Red. But yeah, so there is a purpose to it, but it's definitely the weakest one in terms of effect, so it's very funny.
Like, if you want to make, like, a dumb Sprite Unga Bunga deck, this would be incredibly funny to have in there.
Which you totally can, because, like, the thing about Gigantic Sprite is it does actually get gigantic, right? Like, he gets big. You just got to do it right.
He's the token female main character.
Yeah. But in a different way from whatchamacallit, Carrot.
Elf. Oh, yeah, Carrot, because Carrot's meant to be the sexy one. This is the
this is the spunky one, yeah. She's red, she's got big ponytails, headphones. Her little sprite horn things look like cat ears almost.
And twin tails.
Yeah, big twin tails. Fire in her fingertips.
The fire coming near the bottom of the dress looks like ruffles.
Yeah. And obviously kind of like a very strong opposite to blue being red.
Yeah, there you go, Crystale. The twin tail tsundere.
Well, she is one of the fire types, so yeah, probably.
Also, I'll be right back.
He'll be right back after these messages. He's probably going to go fight the birds for dominance. But yeah, so aesthetically, red, also pretty cool. You may have seen this on Twitter lately. I don't know why, like lately, but I have been seeing some fan artists actually, like, cottoning on to the sprite aesthetic and really enjoying it lately, which I think is deserved. It's certainly a strong look to have the be nothing but, living lightning in big poofy jackets. Not quite Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but, I could see the meme variant of this. Sprite Wizard Tribute Gang. We love negating effects. Actually, no, it would just be, we love level 2s. Legalize board wipes. There you go, Chad. I hope you enjoy that one. But yeah, it's a cool aesthetic. I like it. I enjoy it. Red, it basically functions as you'd expect. It's another fire, so it's level or link 2 monsters. She's got 1,200 attack, 1,800 defense, kind of similar to the way Carrot is. And The effect for this is just the opposite of Carrot. It's just, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can quick effect tribute another 2 to negate the effect. If you tribute a rank or link 2 monster, you can destroy that monster. You only use this effect once per turn. So yeah, this is the monster negate.
Yeah, I have been hit with this one a lot. Like,
yeah.
Oh, what's that? Skull Combat Joker? Fuck you.
Yeah, no. This, like, the usual wombo combo is, pray you got starter, activate starter to summon blue. Usually, like, add red, summon red, that kind of stuff. That's minimum. So there's a lot you can do with that. Never mind that you can also then start special summoning other shit like blue. And if you can not blue, jet, and if you can special summon jet, you can add starter. Gets all over the place, okay? So you can do a lot of funny stuff here. But yeah, red is a cornerstone. And then the funny thing about this deck and why I think Sprite works so well, those 5 monsters I have just listed, blue, carrot, jet, red, and pixies, that's it. That is their only main deck monsters. And as noted, Pixie's not even that good. You don't even need to run 3 of him. Hell, I've seen people who won't run 3 carrot because, like I said, spell trap negation is usually like, it's good, but usually you play around it anyway. Like
usually
good.
Usually with some of these, they run the main deck sprites, and sometimes they'll just throw a random level 2 in there for shits and giggles.
Yeah, any level 2 that summons itself or summons another. A very frequent target is Nimble Beaver, I believe, because when that gets sent to the graveyard, it summons another Nimble something.
Or, the good old fucking frogs.
Yeah, frogs. That's why Totally Awesome got pre-banned in Sprite. Sprite Toad, Sprite Frog, very strong deck because those are all 2s. There's a lot of bullshit you can do. But yeah,
Totally
that's
Awesome
why
can never
Sprite
come
works
back.
so well as a package, as an engine, because it leaves you with a lot of your extra deck. Obviously, you are running, presumably, 3 blue, 3 jet as searchers, and then probably 3 red as targets, just because that's the monster negate. And then you can run as many pixies or carrot as you feel necessary, and then the rest is just whatever level 2 bullshit you want. It makes them very flexible.
That's at max. Like 3 of all those, that's 15 cards out of 40.
Yeah. That leaves you plenty of room for generic shit. Maxi. Though I swear to God, MBT did a video about this recently that I kind of agree with, but apparently Konami got fucking called out in an investor meeting recently about Yu-Gi-Oh! An investor straight up was like, hey, we wish that to grow Yu-Gi-Oh's brand, we want there to be better live streaming. The fact that during OCG tournaments you can't surrender, which is true, by the way. We've talked about this before. That's, I think, why the OCG is very different. You can't... A concession is an agreement between you and your opponent. But basically, because you can't surrender, players might get disheartened with game state and can't move on. And, like, strategically surrendering is cool. So, like, that might change. We'll see after Worlds, or at Worlds, maybe, if they do... because Worlds is going to be back in Japan and they want to live stream it, so we'll see if they change some rules. And then the other was asking, like, is there anything we can do to get people, converted more, and is Master Duel a problem? And I really hope that, like, Konami realizes that, like, Max C being legal and eating up so much of your deck, like... Almost every deck runs 3 Max C, and then usually runs 3 Ash to stop it, and then probably 3 more cards in the form of the 1 Nobleman you're allowed, and 2 Called By. That's 9 cards out of 40. That's almost a fourth of your deck is taken up by the MXC minigame.
I haven't watched the movie, but the way Axe phrases his wording there makes me think of Omega as Jack Horner from the Puss in Boots movie recently.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't actually know if they'll change the way surrendering works in Master Duel, but I strongly believe that that's why Master Duel's surrender is you don't get any rewards for it. Like, Konami of the OCG realized that you have to be able to surrender because it's an internet game, and, you might have to suddenly take a shit, or, you might have your dog freak out while you're playing a video game or something. Maybe you got to sign for a package, whatever, and you'd have to just be like, oh, shit, I have to leave, like, right now.
Your mom calls for you for dinner.
Yeah, like, you're playing a video game in an internet environment. You're supposed to be in your home, so it's not like you're going to a a tournament scene where you've blocked out the time. Shit might get weird. But there's no, like, rewards or representation for it with your other shit because, like I said, the OCG doesn't believe in surrendering. Which, I said this before, but I'll say it again. Really weird. In the anime, in the original anime and manga, they surrender all the time, like, at the drop of a hat. Like, you can...
Yeah, one of the biggest moments in Season 1 is Yugi has to surrender, otherwise he'll kill Kaiba.
Yeah, he's literally mid-attack when he takes over, when regular little Yugi takes back control and just surrenders. Like, similarly, at one point, in the very next duel, at least in the anime, Mai just surrenders, even though she could have defeated Teia's strategy, but she just chose not to. You know, so, like, it's just a thing that happens, and it's dramatic, but it's just whenever appropriate you can surrender. It doesn't mean anything. But yeah.
So, I also just realized something, and you're probably going over this. I do appreciate just looking at the card art here.
Yeah.
The laces and also just bits and pieces on the jacket are basically just like flame little funnel things.
Yeah.
Pretty cute touch. Sorry to get away from what you were talking about, though.
But yeah, so, by the way, I believe Max C is also a 2, so that's funny. But yeah, like I said, Konami had an investor meeting where, like, straight up questions about Yu-Gi-Oh! Were asked. This is probably why they're working on that new 2-player starter set and shit. So, you know, you never know. This might affect both the paper game and also Master Duel. I'm also kind of hoping, like a lot of people, that they finally bring Rush over stateside in paper. And maybe they even work on a, like... I've heard the Rush game is good, but I don't know how good it is as, like, a simulator for Rush, per se. Because I don't know if they're constantly updating the card pool or whatever. A Master Duel for Rush mode or adding that to Master Duel will be interesting. Because Rush has some really unique stuff going on with it. But if you want to talk about, like, accessibility, I think Rush is how you, like, hook a younger audience with literally, like, faster-paced, simpler, more direct games. And then if they want something more complex with a larger card pool, they can get into TCG/OCG. But also, let's talk about another unique card. This is their Xyz monster for sprites, Gigantic Sprite. He's big.
The big
Please
asshole.
hold while I get my water from across the room, because I'm a dumbass.
Don't follow my example. I've got a bowl of Coke next to me. I have that instead of water.
Okay, I'm back.
This just looks like fucking Sprite Blue decided to pull an Iron Giant.
I think that is kind of what's supposed to be happening. Let me check the lore. But yeah, this is when they be powering up. Let me see, where is Gigantic Sprite? Yeah, They defeated all the Therians. They finally make it to the Arduous system, the boss in the Iron Country. Got to snatch up that energy, and then the Arduous system ignited with volcanic lightning. And then the sprites appeared. They are split bodies of the Arduous system and administrators of the Ark, the Disc Coliseum. They placed the seal on that, and they did that other stuff, and then they want to do, how to... Basically, it sounds like when they tried to steal the Agito engine energy, they just summoned all the sprites to defend it, and then it just turned into a battle royale. So I'm not actually sure, like, what Gigantic Sprite is supposed to be. Maybe it's all of the sprites, like, teaming up to actually fight Sargas, because he's fucking huge. But yeah.
Spirit on Lapis has a good idea. It could be just the Colosseum itself.
That could also be true. He could be the actual parts being sprite juiced. Also, that is a slight shame about the Rush game, because like I said, I heard it was good, but it's... Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games are only so good so long as their card pool remains relevant. This is also true for Master Duel. I cannot imagine playing Master Duel as a Japanese OCG player and being like a fucking year behind card releases. Never mind that, like, Master Duel's format is fucking unhinged. Like I said, Sprite Sprint is legal, while Elf is still legal in Master Duel. It's a little crazy. But yeah, Gigantic Sprite is just a big fucking boy. He's a big chunkus. He's a spicy lad. I love the artwork, though. Like, this blue to violet transition, right? Very cool. The volcano
Thumbs
erupting
up.
behind him. Nice. Also, by the way, I mentioned earlier, but gigantic jets is a kind of upper atmospheric light phenomena, so...
This is the hero shot in the anime or manga of Sprite Blue saying, "I won't let you destroy my planet," kind of thing.
Yes. I will not let you destroy my world! The OP hits. Yeah. But he's a big monkey. So, Gigantic Sprite is a Dark Thunder Xyz. It is a rank 2, obviously. 16/16. And now, it's completely generic, by the way, just 2 level 2 monsters. But, this has the fucking funniest line of card text. And this is why I think Sprites really took off, because they do some unique shit that Yu-Gi-Oh! Should do more. Though, admittedly, I think you would have to do it for just, like, Link 2s or Link 1s. Overlaying into a Link 4 to make our rank 4 Xyz is just not that good. But for this card's Xyz summon, you can treat Link 2 monsters you control as level 2 monsters for material. The original attack of this card that has a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster as material becomes doubled. I don't actually know how you would get an Xyz monster attached to this, but there are ways. During your main phase, you can activate this effect. Detach 1 material from a monster you control, and if you do, special summon 1 level 2 monster from your deck, but neither player can special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except level 2, rank 2, Link 2 monsters. You can use the effect of Gigantic Sprite once per turn. While I think because of the way chaining works, you can still do IP Masquerena, hypothetically, that could actually box your opponent out of IP Mask summons. It can stop them from... It can stop them from, like, Call of the Haunted or something back monsters in battle phase if you activate this effect, because, like I said, neither player can summon except level 2, ranks 2s, or Link 2s.
Yeah, sorry, you mentioned an honorary sprite card, IP Masquerena. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because she is also a Link 2, and she's really good. They just revealed her IP Masquerena's buddy. It's a SP something. It's basically a Chiyomaru retrain. As a cute Link 2 that you can make off Mask, but also do other stuff. It's very funny. But yeah, so, like, Masquerena definitely fits in this deck pretty well, and Sprite would prevent her from summoning anything besides a Link 2 because of its effect, but I think you can chain her to it, so you would just not. But yeah, it's very, very funny. It gets you from deck. It's big. You know, it becomes 3,200 if you have the appropriate material. And it's just very solid. So yeah, it's a pretty frequent make. Usually I think you make this one second after Elf, and now after Sprind. But still very strong, very big, very bonk. It's just a big boy. Yeah, I mean, I think... I have to double check. I think you can still activate Nibiru's effect to Tribute, but neither... You would not summon Nibiru, nor would you summon the token, because those are both big. So, like, there's a lot of weird shit. There's certain kinds of hand traps that have to summon themselves that it stops, you know? Again, I don't know if I would have to read the chain order, but it might stop, like, Psyframes, because they summon themselves. But yeah, Gigantic Sprite is very funny for its lockdown effect being double-sided. That would be funnier for a lot of main deck effects to be like, alright, for the rest of this turn... Neither player can special summon monsters except warrior monsters. But it's your main phase. I don't summon. Even so.
Just even so, fuck you.
It'd be very funny. But yeah, well, let's talk about, because alphabetically it's next, let's talk about the banned one. So, Elf. Sprite Elf. Fairly certain, judging by the look, that, because it's purple and red, I'm pretty sure Elf is literally supposed to be, carrot and red put together. Carrot and red combine.
With a fuckload of, like, weapons and stuff.
Yeah, she's still got hands to throw, but also has, you know, rocket launchers and rocket boosters and solar panels, and maybe shoots lasers. I don't know.
You can probably also just say it's a red carrot and pixies.
It could be Pixies. I've also, like, because it's got rocket boosters, you could see Jet as an alternative as well. I think it's supposed to be, like I said, carrot and red because of the two colors. You can see that her
Wait, hold on.
her super long ponytail becomes purple way at the back.
She's fucking Naruto running.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she is actually running. She's got her feet there, but she's also, like, has a huge thunder explosion behind her, so she's really accelerating. But yeah, this keeps a lot of our fashion sense. She's got the big poofy jacket. She's got an even more complex Jet Set Radio headpiece. It's even got a weird visor. Yeah, technically, I think I've seen Loth wear this glam for White Mage. Weird visor, big white coat.
Yeah, the late elegant healing set.
Yeah.
It's my Sage outfit, actually.
And that would also really... That especially works for this. This is just a Sage glam, correct. But yeah, no, I like this art. It is a terrible shame that this card is so fucking good and stupid good.
I appreciate the weird part that you can actually see, like, the chest and just how fucking weird and kind of almost see-through it is.
Yeah, and like, you can see that it's got, like, she's wearing, like, a dress, but it's open, and you can just see the, like, cross shape of the plasma, you know? It's pretty cool. Definitely, like, had the space theme we were talking about. Like, technically we call these guns, but they are actually just, like, rocket boosters. But they probably do shoot lasers.
It gives me serious Nyoth energy. Just Helena came in and said, here, take this.
Yeah. But yeah, chat probably doesn't need a refresher on what Sprite Elf does, but in case you do, in case this is your first time ever seeing a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and you want to know what the fuck Sprite Elf does. Sprite Elf is a Fire Thunder Link 2. It has the bottom arrows in the two corners. It's a Link 2, so it has 1400 attack flat. Any two monsters, exactly two monsters, I should say, including a one singular level 2, rank 2, or Link 2 monster. By the way, this means you only need one level, rank, or Link 2 monster. The other monster can be fucking whatever. This is our first mistake. Now, Sprite Elf can't be used as Link material the turn it is Link summoned. This is good. It's not enough, but it's good. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects. That really doesn't come up too much, but does help. The main problem is, during the main phase, quick effect, target one level 2 monster in your graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, a rank 2 or Link 2 monster instead, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Sprite Elf once per turn. So, every turn during the main phase, you get to reborn a level 2. The problem with this is the fact that it doesn't say to a zone this card points to. If Elf was zone locked and you had to actually, like, pick your placements, or God forbid if you summoned Elf not in your EMZ, that would probably make it better. But no, this card is just infinite level 2, rank 2 reversion. Hey, by the way, you know what's a rank 2? Masquerena. You've already used a Masquerena. You can bring back a Masquerena, and Elf only says it can't be used as Link material on the turn it was summoned. So, yeah, just fucking, oh my god. All of the tiers that are level 2, you can just bring those fuckers back. There's all kinds of stupid stuff, and it's any level 2, once again, or rank 2 if your opponent controls a monster. I have used this card so much for dumb shit. Hey, you can use it to reborn your live twins, which also have their own reborn quick effect, so you can just start your live twin combo again. It's stupid. The fact that it is not zone locked and it is not archetype locked, this card deserves to be banned. Not only was it fucking phenomenal in Sprite, but also it's really good in basically anything that involves a level, rank, or Link 2 monster, which is a lot of decks.
Yes. So, like, can you imagine? It's like, yes, if it was zone locked, Jesus Christ, I would have, like, people would not be as hyped for this card as it is.
Yeah. It would still be a really good card, but it would mean that you would have to carefully manage your board placement, and
yes,
you would basically get, assuming you weren't already using its zones because it does have a protection effect when pointing, it would mean that you couldn't just summon for free. You would have to get rid of the monsters in the zones to reborn, you know? But no, you can just put them wherever. And they can be anything. It's a cracked card. It is... I understand Konami, you know, often wants to push powerful cards, push new archetypes. Elf is really good. It's really fucking good.
I'm sorry, Omega. I looked at a thing on Twitter. I gotta share this with you.
Sure.
Someone designed a new Gotti card.
Gotti's pretty cool. They might be done with
Is
that
that
support for
fucking
now.
fish?
Yeah, might be done for now. We might have to do a Gotti someday if there's. Did they add all of them into Master Duel, or are there high-res images of them now?
I would fucking hope so. They look pretty nice because what is it? They're space fish.
Yeah, they're space fish. Like they're pretty funny. Attempts for
great sea
TCG
of
archetypes
stars.
to be used. But yeah, so in the TCG and OCG, Elf is fucking banned and will probably stay that way for a long time. So they, made a replacement basically. Which is this card, Sprite Sprint. This card is also great because it looks like Kit, who is in the background, by the way. You can see her back there doing like a fucking Gambare fist pump. But it looks like Kit just glued all of the Sprite's clothes together and made a weird Sprite robot.
Is that red and blue just stuck in the jacket that Kit eventually wears?
Yeah, I think it's just Kit like stole their shoes and jacket and just put red and blue in a tank. And you can tell they're a little nettled, I think.
What are we doing in here?
But yeah, this card's fucking hilarious. Baller jacket, though. Look at those pouches. Oh, did we hit the end? Yeah, we hit the end of the master music. Hold on. I forgot to loop it. Get that back. But yeah. Sprint.
It looked good.
It's funny. I like it. I love this little fucking add another one to my Kit reaction image album.
Yeah, no, the Kit being there is what makes it.
Yeah, and you've got like they've got like little like sweat drops or jittery figures. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know.
God, sorry, I'm on this thread of hashtag for OCG art people have done, and it's just filled with nothing but Lady Labyrinth, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Lady Lab was added to Master Duel, and then they announced one of the two new Labyrinth cards, the Butler, who is a woman in a suit. So you know that Twitter is being completely normal about this.
Yes, completely normal. As I share this art for Omega to die.
Have you already retweeted that? I think I've seen that in my For You. I greatly appreciate that, at the very least in Japan, the fan artists like Lovely Lady. Labyrinth is well appreciated. But yeah, Sprint. Yeah, they're trapped in the coat. They're trapped in the coat box. You did bad, so it's not you're going to Brazil, you're going to the coat dimension.
Oh my god, no. Omega, do you guys have camel packs?
Oh yeah.
That's what Kit has done. She trapped him in the camel pack.
Yeah, I was also thinking of I don't know if you've ever seen this image before, but it's a common visual meme these days. But the Get Along shirt.
Oh yeah.
the big shirt you fit two people in. I feel like Kit put blue and red in the you have to get along jacket. It's very funny. This card is named, by the way, after Kit's fighter jet thing she built, Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon. So and she used that to build her Springen's armor and Bearbrum later. So yeah, this is named after that Sprint. Otherwise, I don't think it has any name significance. But yeah, so Sprite Sprint is another Fire Thunder Link too, but it has bottom left and top right, so it's got the opposite corners, which is different. Is good for some builds. Also got 1400 attack, exactly like Elf. It says exactly 2 monsters, including a level rank 2 or link 2 monster. Can't be used as link material at the same turn. It's linked summoned. Again, you are literally seeing that this is just Elf at home. You can use one of the following effects of Sprint per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is link summoned, send 1 level 2 monster from your deck to your graveyard. If another monster is special summoned while this card is on the field, except during the damage step, you can detach 1 material from an Xyz monster you control, target a monster on the field, return it to the hand. So yeah, Sprint obviously doesn't give you the reborn effect that Elf does, but it lets you Foolish a level 2, which is really good on summon, so it lets you extend anyway. Like I said, usually you bin Nimble Beaver, which gets you a free summon. Oh my god, Loth.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just glanced over at Discord.
I was gonna say something, but thank God you noticed it.
No, I caught it. I see your little bubble. That'll be great when you go to Crow Casual later and see if the guys notice. But yeah, so Sprint is basically Elf but fair. It's still not archetype locked, but its effects are much more controlled. You know, The bounce is cool, but it does require you to have an Xyz monster to detach from. But still pretty solid, and obviously you're special summoning a decent amount in Sprite, so there's stuff you can do there. But it's a fun one. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a Sprite elf that's not going to cause your opponent to want to murder you in your sleep.
Yes. It doesn't actually necessarily perpetuate the infinite conga line of assholes effect that Sprite had, while also still giving you new tricks, because it does give you a Foolish and it does give you a Bounce. Just not both on the same turn. Which is nice. You know, there's limitations here. Alright, let's talk about... most of the art for them is just them posing, so we probably won't show them, but we can talk about their hand of Sprite cards as well. The card you see in the thumbnail is Gamma Burst. Sorry, burpee. That is a quick play spell card. Gamma Burst, by the way, not super popular, though you could play it. That's a quick play spell card that says all level, rank, or link 2 monsters currently on the field gain 1400 attack until the end of this turn. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one level, rank, or link 2 monster you control. It gains 1400 attack at the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. So yeah, Gamma Burst is just Pixies, but better. Literally why I play Pixies.
Yeah, I mean, if you run it along with Pixies, you could probably get some big numbers.
Yeah, but it gives you It gives all your level, rank, or link 2 monsters 1400 attack when you use its normal effect, and then its graveyard effect is just 1 until the end of your opponent's turn.
There is no image because it's the stream thumbnail, right?
Yeah, it's the thumbnail. It's just red and blue team up. So yeah, I know some people don't run Gamma Burst. I think it's still a decent card because, again, to win a game of Yu-Gi-Oh, you usually have to reduce your opponent's life points. And while in the TCG surrendering is free, you will sometimes find players who are stubborn enough to stick it out. So you do need to actually close a fucking game. So Gamma Burst helps.
Yeah, I am one of those stubborn people. I would be like, no, if you're gonna do this, I'll sit here the entire time. Fuck you.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna make you earn it. I mean, if people really want to see art, we'll show some of them. This is Sprite Double Cross, as you can see. It's not actually that informative. It looks like it's Sargass. It's definitely Gigantic Champion Sargass fighting Gigantic, but also fighting Irregular.
Yeah, a lot's happening here. What the fuck?
Yeah. Basically, it has Regulus, Gigantic Sprite, and Spriggan's Captain Sargass. So this is all them fighting. And I think this turns into Gigantic Champion Sargass when he gets the juice. But yeah, it's like I said, this one's just kind of a fucking mishmash. It looks good, but there's a lot of stuff going on. This is a normal trap. It says target a monster on the field or in eye of the graveyard, then activate the appropriate effect. Attach the targeted monster to a rank 2 monster you control as material. So this is how you get, like, Xyz or other shit on Gigantic Sprite. Place the targeted monster your opponent controls in a zone your Link 2 monster points to and take control of it. Special summon the targeted monster from either graveyard to a zone your Link 2 monster points to. So let me see. When did this come out? This came out in Darkwing Blast. Yeah, so this, I'm pretty sure this trap card exists to replace Elf.
Sorry, the way I heard Darkwing Blast, I'm like...
Darkwing Blast.
Also, because the stream can't see this, in Crow General, Axe has been called out by Lucky. He's like, wait a second, Axe isn't in the stream, but he's in his natural habitat in 14.
Yes. No, it's been, Axe has been called out. I don't have 14 booted up right now, so I didn't know, but I assume that he's watching cutscenes because he wants to hang out with Hildebrand Manderville more than us. Canon event.
I mean, sadly, understandable.
I mean, no, like, I'm not going to fight him on that. But it's just, it's the God's honest, it's the Heidelin honest truth.
Yep.
But yes, he's not in either.
My brother in Zodiac.
He is not in either VC right now. Though he is in the stream chat. Or was. I don't know. He's stream chatting in between doing other shit. But yeah, I think...
My ass seeing in Zodiac. You could need to stop.
We have fun here. Get ready for that to come up. I can't wait to be in a dungeon and one of you guys is playing tank or healer and just be like, I'm dying, and I'm just gonna be like, my brother in Heidelin, you are the healer. You control the rate at which to die. I'm dying? Help me?
Oh, I can only hear that one meme voice, like, I'm dying. Help me.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so yeah, they just announced a new V-Jump promo with they are gonna add a new rescue animal. We can look at him later, maybe. We'll see how long the stream goes. But yeah, so like I said, Double Cross is a normal trap that I'm pretty sure is supposed to replace the effects that Elf had, but slower. So that's good. I mean, I'll pull up the card art for Smashers, but it's weird. I guess that's the point of Fail Portrayal. So y'all get a load of this. This is the card art for Sprite Smashers. What is being smashed? Sargass is literally hitting Regulus, aka Irregular, with a missile. This needs the fucking JoJo to be continued template.
Do.
Yeah, just the first notes of Roundabout.
And also there's Kit in the background with the coat.
Yeah, Kit wearing the coat and with her bear room claw, just ready to fucking throw down.
And is that the snake Therian?
Yes, that is the snake Therian fighting gigantic Sprite. Okay, yeah, okay. I think this makes sense. So what's happening is that the Sprites all got summoned to defend Agido, but this was actually in her lore. That Empress type, the snake one, she was sealed away by the Sprites because she was too evil for their Colosseum. So I guess the idea is that she gets loose, and then the Sprites have to team up with the Springens boys to not die. And
Yeah,
Sargass eats Regulus and Gigantic Sprite. That's canon.
Because I'm guessing, yeah, the snake lady takes control of the other Therions. It's like, haha.
Yeah, and so we have to fight her because you can see she's using her giant claw arm to block Gigantic's big fucking punch. His big bonk. But again, the foreground I just love the cartoonish angling on this missile. Just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's got the same energy as a Kamina unsheathing his sword, and it's like ridiculously long.
Yeah. And just like, look at Irregular's face. Like, look at his blank, dead-eyed stare as he's just like, yep, this is my life.
You're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, exactly. The music starts, well, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into the situation. It was a bad idea.
It's not that I'm distracted from this by what I'm doing, but Omega, I found a thing in that hashtag I think you would enjoy. Chibi versions of the Albaz ladies.
Oh, little stickers. It's fucking adorable. I'll retweet that. They got a Kit, Farigate, Ecclesia, and Fleur-de-Lis. But yeah, Sprite Smashers. This is a card you've probably seen. It is a quick play spell card. It says banish a. This is basically the bridge card for several archetypes here. It says banish one Springens, Therian, or Sprite monster from your hand or graveyard, then activate one of these effects. Special summon a Springen from your deck. Special summon a Therian from your graveyard. Banish one level 2, rank 2, or link 2 monster you control, and one card your opponent controls. You can activate one Smashers per turn. So yeah, normally you see Smashers in Sprite because it allows you to banish a card your opponent controls. That is a non-targeting banish, by the way. But it is also a summon from deck for a Springan.
Yeah, would you even run any of these together?
So I don't know. I'd have to double check if there are any actual level 2 Springans, but the ability of cards like Double Cross to attach material to your cards is good for both Gigantic Sprite and Springans. So hypothetically, there could be some synergy. I definitely think you would probably run Therian and Springen together more than you would Sprite and Springen or Therian, but there might be some overlap. I think it's just the idea is that Sprite Smashers is a card you can do different things in different decks in. Normally you see it in Sprite, though, because it's searchable. But yeah, it's a Benishito.
Yeah, no, it's a all-around good card.
Basically, in the context of the next card we're about to look up, if your opponent does the Jet Spell Trap search, it is almost always our next card, Starter, which, again, I will show you the card art, but it is not super impressive. It's just the Volcanic Lightning behind Agido. Basically, this is the part where Agido, which is the AI power source for the Colosseum, is like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to become a bunch of lightning boys and girls. And you can see Sargass being like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, the fucking evil face above the volcano.
Which, by the way, let me actually, hold on. We have a translated quote from Sargass that I want to read you. Yes. The way that his dialogue has been translated is, all we gotta do now is snatch up that buzzing energy. That is in the line, so I'm pretty sure that's how Sargass speaks. We're gonna help out our sworn brothers, Albaz and Ecclesia.
I can purely imagine, like, he's a big fella, but still with a Springen, like, voice.
That would be funny. But yeah, so, basically, the way this works is if you don't have Starter, you search Starter. If you do have Starter, you search Smashers, because it's just, a good banish. I've mentioned it before. Starter is another card, by the way, that is fucking limited everywhere. It is currently at 2 in the TCG. It's at 1 in the OCG. It's also at 2 in Master Duel. Like, this is a card that's really good. Special summon a Sprite from your deck, but lose LP equal to its original attack. And also for the rest of this turn, you can't special summon except level, rank, or link 2 monsters. You only activate 1 Sprite Starter per turn. So yeah, if you're playing Sprite, the summon restriction doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No. And this allows you to always get your on-special summon effect on cards like Jet or Blue. And none of them have good attack. So the cost isn't actually that good. Again, usually you're taking, like, I think 11 for Blue, but yeah, no. Starter is just a fucking good card. I find it hilarious that they literally called it Starter, right? This is your literal combo starter. It is called Starter.
Yes.
Like, we already called cards like this starters anyway, and they were just like, yeah.
It'd be as if, like, oh, here's the, what was it? The new archetype that's centered around ritual, like, food cards to go with Hungry Burger. It'd be as if there's a spell card called Setting the Table, and that's what you use for your starter. Like, this is with the start point.
Yeah.
Or what is it? What's that new race-themed archetype?
Gold Pride? Gold Pride does have a card called Start Your Engines, which I think is a starter.
I was about to say starting line, so yeah.
Yeah, it's called Start Your Engines, I think, is their starter spell card. Gold Pride also really cool. Very fun. I'm a bit sad that TCG exclusive archetypes don't really take off as much as they used to. We're past the days of kaijus and cosmos where you're just like, damn, this is good. But Gold Pride, very funny.
The dumb Yu-Gi-Oh memes.
But yeah, so those are the Sprite cards. There is one more card that seems to be Sprite related, but we'll talk about that later because that's one of our cliffhangers for next time.
Ah, the after story.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
One of the epilogue boys. Oh yeah, so that's Sprite. Now it's time to talk about another menace, the Bestials, the Boosteds. Technically, I think that means actually, even though she's at the bottom of my list, we have to talk about Cartesia first.
Oh yeah, her.
Now, there's a lot of confusion over who or what the fuck Cartesia is. Allow me to explain. Cartesia is what happens when you glue 666 Saint Souls together. So yes, Cartesia is the thing that Maximus, aka Dramaturge, is trying to make. He collected 666 saints to make it, with Ecclesia being the last one. And so that's Cartesia. Cartesia is associated with red as opposed to Ecclesia being associated with white. You know, the translation of her name is like, you know, Red Saint Cartesia, Cartesia the Sparkling Saint. So they went with, instead of saint, they said virtuous, and they were like blazing Cartesia.
That's like a weird ass, like, great rapier she's holding.
Yeah.
Almost looks like she's trying to hold it like a violin.
Yeah, it's very long and thin, but the crossguard is also huge. Like,
so is this Despian Cartesia?
No, she has no archetype. It's like Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous.
Oh, okay.
So, very much so, because she's also a tuner. So, arguably this card is supposed to go with branded stuff, because it involves Fallen of Albaz and fusion monsters, but lore-wise, to discuss Bestials, we have to kind of talk about what our boy Dramaturge is doing, what Maximus is up to. And basically, he's gotten 666 Saint Souls together, and then by the power of awakening her, Dramaturge has opened up a shitload of holes into the abyss, big purple portals, and then from those, he summons some dragons. So it's a little weird. The bestial monsters are described as they were kings of the old place, but now they're, you know, puppets, marionette dragons that are shadows of their former selves. They're bound up in chains and stuff, but they're really strong. So basically, the bestials are dragons that come from beyond the whole dimension, presumably from the same place that, you know, Aluber and Albaz come from, and they're chained up. But they are appreciated by Cartesia. You know, they say that Cartesia dotes on them like a mother.
Understandable. I've been banished for 1,000 years, and someone's finally giving me the affection I want. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff there. But yeah, the card art is good. I like the like red to black transition. Looks vaguely like Ecclesia, but is a little different. Also, technically, I think this is the quote-unquote censored artwork. Let me actually pull up the... not much, but there are apparently slight differences in the artwork. I think what they did was they redrew her little chest window to make it look less like cleavage and more like a normal dress. That I don't really care about. On the one hand, I think Konami is too sensitive to that, but also, like, it doesn't really change anything about the card art.
Doesn't change anything. I actually kind of prefer, like, it being a proper dress-looking thing like that.
Yeah, it looked a little bit more like a translucent like slip in the original OCG. This makes it more look like she's just got layers on, which she does anyway. Look at the fucking layers on this kimono and shit. Big dress. It's like a 7-layer kimono. Though she does have the cool little diamond like tassels. It's very nice. So what Blazon Cartesia does is she is a level 4 light spellcaster tuner with 1500 attack and 1500 defense. So, you know, like Ecclesia. If you control Fallen of Albaz or it is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. There are also like 4 different cards that are Albaz on the field or graveyard, so wiggle room.
Yep.
During your main phase, quick effect, you can summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field material. During your end phase, if a fusion monster was sent to your graveyard this turn, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. You can use each effect of Cartesia once per turn. So yeah, Cartesia is a tuner. She is a free special if you have Albaz on the field or graveyard. During the main phase, you can fusion with her. So she's pretty good. Yes, Zed, you have just missed the sprites. So if you want to go back and see that, you can catch the VOD when we're done. Now we're moving on to Bestials. What's up?
Yeah. I found cute fan art of Aluber and Cartesia. Just hanging out.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
no, she's a good card for what she does.
Yeah, I think a lot of people undersold like how much she adds to Branded, but she's really good because, like Ecclesia, she is a free special normally, but she more proactively supports your fusion summoning effects because she just gives you a literal quick effect fusion, which is, by the way, monsters from your hand or field. Often you will use her, but you don't have to. You can just be like, hey, these two monsters, I'm just going to make a big monster. Oh, you're fucking with me? I'm going to summon a big guy. Fuck you. I'm going to make Mirror Jade.
Yep.
Or I can make the guy who makes Mirror Jade because, again, the Albaz fusions are silly. But yeah, Cartesia, good card. Strong lady. And obviously there is a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of plot stuff happening at the final battle of Golgonda, but we'll save that for, not next time, because next stream should be whatever our Portrayal winner is. Remember, support us on Patreon, the 5 and up level. You can vote in that poll. Yeah, that'll be the last stream of the month, so whatever wins, that. But yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to Gaia.
It'll probably be Gaia, but I think there was a little bit of competition. I'll check the poll at the end of the stream to, once again, drive up looks. But yeah, Cartesia doing stuff. She's important. She also has, technically, a fusion form.
Oh, she does?
Yeah. Though, art-wise, it's very funny because you'll see in a second when I pull it up. But this is also... hold on to this for me, chat. The name of this monster is Granguinol, the Dusk Dragon. Or possibly Granguinol or Granguigunol, because there's 3 G's in this name. That's right, 3G Wi-Fi service.
So, this is basically just the corrupted armor's like final state, isn't it?
I think so. Let me see if there's a proper...
Because it's got the weird wing eye things that the armor had earlier.
Yes.
But also, this just looks like a fucking Predator plant.
Yeah, this is an upgraded form of Despian Coriatus, which, yes, so that's the armor with the power of her. And also, interestingly enough, it is named after a theater in Paris called the Grand Guignol. Or Grand Guignol. But it's that's a type of horror theater. So they do horror shows. Get it?
Yeah, he's also got like 2 sets of wings. The weird like leftovers from the armor with the eyes, and also just the stained glass wings.
Yeah. Which is aesthetically similar to certain Xyz Dragon Boys, Rebellion Dragons.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, so...
those are some...
I like how they indicate that this is very clearly her quote-unquote fusion form, but it's just her plus dragon. It's like Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. It's just...
Fuck, you beat me to it!
Yeah, sorry. I was in the middle of saying it. But
no,
yeah,
it's okay.
So Granguinol, the Dusk Dragon. This is a level 8 Spellcaster fusion, by the way, just to remind you who's in charge here. It's got 25-25. It specifically requires exactly Cartesia and then 1 or light or dark monster. So again, this is, because of Cartesia's own fusion effect, this is very often the one used.
Oh man, can I just say, can you imagine how great this, if this got a fucking custom summon animation, how great that would be? Ecclesia like poses up, the dragon slams its hands down.
Oh yeah,
wings spread.
I don't think this has a summon animation, but if you're thinking about adding it, Konami, this would be a cool one for it. I don't think it has a summon animation, but yeah, it might.
It was just the first thing that came to my head upon seeing like this. I'm like, wait a second.
But yeah, this
like
card
the smoke
reads...
clears, this is what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
This card reads, if this card is fusion summoned, you can send 1 level 6 or higher light or dark monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. So it's just, a foolish or like a bin from extra deck effect. Very spicy, very funny. If a monster is special summoned by your opponent's activated monster effect, except during the damage step, you can banish the card from your field or graveyard, special summon a Dogmatica monster from your deck or a Despia monster from your extra deck. You can use each effect once per turn. So yeah, not inherently a bestial per se, but Cartesia is related to them, and also it does kind of work in some of those decks.
Yeah.
and it gives
He's not
you
running pure Bestials.
yes, and it does kind of give you interesting like Dogmatica and Despia extension.
Also, yeah, you don't know what they'll add animation to for Mastodon. Fucking basic Red Eye's got a finish end win animation.
Yeah. Well, you know, they already gave one to Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, so.
And Dark Magician Girl, I believe.
Yeah, I think she does. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of the classics.
Yeah. Sorry
Okay.
to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna pull up our next card.
I'm surprised Dallas hasn't stumbled his way in.
Yeah, right? Well, we're in Bestials.
Like, Axe I can understand because he mentioned in Crow General he had a meeting with his dad, so...
Yeah, he was doing stuff and just forgot he was still in 14.
Yeah.
So he's busy.
Real life things happen.
He's busy. We don't know about Dallas. He's just not here right now. He's doing something. This is Bestial Baldrake. He's ballin'. He even has a ball.
What the
Wish I was a ball.
fuck is
Wish
that
I
in
was a
his
little bit
chest?
Taller. His arm is stuck in it.
Oh, okay, I thought it was gonna... I was about to say, it looks like a slot machine.
Yeah, no, one of his arms is just stuck to his chest in a big cage thing. But yeah, he's balling. But at what cost?
His arm.
True.
This looks like just a weird... They was like, okay, can we make a crow dragon that isn't a Blackwing?
Yeah, kinda.
Also, like, all the spikes, like... Part of it is needless. Like, a little bit less armor spikes could have been great, but...
Yeah.
I'll
I'll admit he's just kind of a generic dragon man. A dragon, you know, that's a lot of how Bestials look.
If you had told me this was some kind of Red Eyes card, I wouldn't have also batted an eye.
Yeah. He's got some of that energy. He's definitely
Red
got
Eyes
that kind of
Blackwing Dragon.
Yeah, I think there used to be a theory that the Bestials were supposed to be based on certain things, but that didn't really materialize. So, yeah. The name Bestial is a translation. Basically, the kanji in the Japanese meant abyss beast, but it was like... It's like bistedo. So Bisted was the original one. I think Bestial, as like bestial, but with the BY from Abyss in it, is better. Because it is still Abyss Beast. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a tense difference between the English and Japanese there. But yeah, Baldrake is certainly a guy.
What's he do, though?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about the spikes and how they're weird. Like, he's got spikes on one side of his arm that go, like, one way, and then the spikes on the other that go a different way.
Spikes on his feather wings?
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be, like, chained and sealed, so it probably is supposed to be painful, but yeah. So, all of the Bestials say, target a light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, special summon this card. This is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. There you go. These guys are chaos monsters with quick effects, and both graves. They are DD monsters. So, DD Crow.
From both graves?
Yes. This is why the Bestials are cracked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's DD Crow and also a Chaos Monster, basically.
Okay.
It summons itself and it banishes.
So I haven't played Macedon since these guys came out, so I have no idea what they do. I just kept hearing, yeah, Bestials are cracked. I'm like, how? Hearing that? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
Especially in the decks I run.
Uh-huh. Sorry, yawn.
ZR would be like, no, I need those.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right, that makes them a little spicy.
Oh, yeah, but they do say screw tears. That is fair.
They do a couple of different things, yes. But basically, any light or dark deck is vulnerable to being turned into a Bestial summon target.
It's fair. They are the most popular colors. Colors? Fuck me. You know what I mean.
Baldrake, by the way, is a Dark Dragon level 6 himself. He has 2,500 attack, 2k defense, so pretty good stats for a 6. His normal effect is if your opponent special summons a Ritual Fusion Synchro or Xyz or Link monster, except during the damage step, you contribute one other light or dark monster, target that one of the special summon monsters, banish it. You can use each effect once per turn. So Baldrake is a banisher when summoned, so he fucking yeetuses some guys. And Loth has stepped away, and actually, I think I need to take a hot second to step away too. Very sorry about this, but I'll be right back. I'll leave you with the music. Just hitting the jaunty music. Yes, sorry, I also stepped away a lot. You are correct. I finished talking about Baldrake and had to step off for a second. Just to let you know what Baldrake does, if your opponent special summons a Fusion Ritual Synchro Caesar Link monster, you can tribute another monster that's later dark to banish that monster.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, just fuck you.
Which is why this guy is limited to 1 in the OCG, because he is one of the better Bestials. He's just like, you summoned a guy? No, you didn't. Fuck you.
You didn't. Yeah, you summoned a guy who isn't just a normal or effect monster base.
To hell with ye. Get banished.
Be chained up just like me. Suffer like I do.
And then here's another one that is very well known and very important. This is Bestial Druidworm. Technically, his name was Druidworm. Definitely a D in there. I don't know why they wanted to do that, other than, I guess, to be culturally sensitive. But yeah, he's Druidworm.
I can't tell if that's meant to be like the... Oh, there's chains coming off it, so that mask is meant to be like...
bolted on, I think, yeah.
He does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I think compared to Baldrake, Druidworm actually looks pretty slick. He's a pretty normal dragon. I mean, I know I say this a lot about cards in the Albaz adjacent archetypes. This is just a Dark Souls boss.
Yes, this is... That dragon you saw off to the side in the distance that was chained up has been released and it's fighting you now.
Yeah. And then the phase 2 is when you actually break off his chains and release his true power. And his true power is usually eating you or shooting laser beams at you.
Or slight health regen.
Yeah.
That's when they really want to fuck you up.
He's a big bonker. But I think he looks pretty neat. I do kind of like the antler look, you know, again, calling him like a Druidworm or Druidworm. You know, it's neat.
Yeah. And just the way that the chains like conform to like his wings and all that. It's actually not overly designed chains. which is good.
His horns are similar to the ones that Brigrand, the Glory Dragon, had, one of the Albaz fusions, but not quite the same. They are kind of gold and they are antlery, but Brigrand's horns were like more like thin and swoopy. These are much blockier and more blade-like, so it's not a one-to-one comparison.
So, I'm not sure if the book goes over it, but it like these Bestials feels like similar to Albaz or Aluber, but they just got stuck in whatever dragon form.
Yeah, the EX book is not explicit about that, but does say that they came from beyond the holes, from the abyss, which is where Aluber and Albaz come from, and were dragon kings there. So I do think they're supposed to be related and look kind of similar, but so far the lore hasn't explicitly said what they were. So that could be a thing we're going to elaborate on later.
Okay. Again, as they're chained up, I literally just think that they just lost control and are just stuck like this.
They could be. They are supposed to be kind of that way. So Druis Worm basically has the exact same stats as Baldrake. It's a Dark Dragon 6 with 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. It has the same banish effect they all do. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target a special summon monster opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. Fuck you.
Oh, fucking send? Oh,
yes,
Jesus.
Send, baby. Now, it is
that's
targeting,
strong.
but still, it's fucking send, which is nasty. Gets around destruction protection.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why, what was it, Time Pendulum Graph was banned for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Just non-target, well, it's non-targeting as opposed to targeting, but just send to graveyard is so
sending
strong.
is basically, chat, if you're looking at tiers of removal, destruction is actually the lowest because lots of cards can't be destroyed.
Or they have on destruction effects.
Yeah, or they float. Then you've got, returning. I think returning to deck or hand is actually... Send to graveyard is probably, because cards have effects when sent to graveyard also, is probably second best. Then you've got, bouncing to hand or deck. And the spiciest is using as materials for a summon or tribute, Those are just, there's not really a lot you can do in response to an inherent summon, like a Kaiju or a fucking Raw Sphere Mode and shit. That's the nastiest. Same with, Super Poly. No, you are being fused. Do not resist. But yeah, again, shocking nobody. Druis Worm at 1 in the OCG. He's really rude.
Gee, who could have seen that coming?
Yeah. Like I said, almost every bestial name is limit 1 in the OCG, so it's rough. And our next card actually was, I think, limit 1 from the very first in Master Duel. But it is also still limit 1 in the OCG. It's another one of the big boys you probably know. Magnamut. The Magman Hut.
Magnamut.
Yeah, no, literally Magnamut. They put an H in his name in the TCG to make it more like Magnum Hut. But yeah, it's Magnamut.
Oh, I enjoy just the giant handcuffs he's got, but he's still ripping through it.
Yeah, his claws are still poking out of his giant gauntlets. And he's just looking at one like, you think this will stop me? Because he's also wearing, a Hannibal Lecter face guard, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got, curly hair horns.
Yeah. Big demonic horns. He's got big gems. He's got single-spiked big knee pads. I also notice, this is probably important, all of the important chains on Magnum Hut are broken. His arms and legs are free, technically. They just drag. So, yeah.
Yeah. And also, with the way he's got the pointy knee pads... It looks like it's meant to actually restrict movement for his legs, so he can't do too much. But his wings are fucking free.
Yeah, no, he can. He's ready to rock, and he will rock because he's another big boy. I do like the color scheme though. The black horns and claws, and then the red and lighter red. It's good, very classic dragon.
Yeah, very light skin tone as well for the under part.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't get what's up with the yellow part with the wing, but I'm guessing that's part of it.
Yeah, it matches his central gem, in the center of his body, his torso there. So I assume that's just his thing, is he's just got
They wanted to add Konami orbs.
Yeah. So Magnamut is another Dark Dragon, level 6, same stat line, 25, 2k. Target light or dark to, summon him. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect during the end phase. Add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand except Magnamut. You use each effective Magnamut once per turn. This card is also limited in the OCG, and I believe was limited first. Yeah.
Magnamut?
Kind of. The original Japanese is Magnamuto. So it is a little bit of a long, but it's a long U sound, so it's Magnamuto.
Yeah, Dragon Synergy too OP.
Yeah, no.
Radiating...
In both the TCG and Master Duel, Dragon Link is back, y'all. Just Dragon Link with Bestials. It's a pretty good deck. Normally, you use this to search a specific Bestial monster that we'll talk about next, or later, actually. I don't think he's the next one. But yeah, Magnemite is really good, because just when he's summoned, which is really easy to do, again, you get to search during your end phase to add a guy. By the way, all of the Bestials are fucking hand trap dragons, so...
Yep. I also just do appreciate, just like, even though he looks great, he's like, his claws are breaking out of the giant manacles he's in, radiating just pure dark energy, and I'm like, yeah, I can get behind this.
Yeah, he's vibing.
No, this is the kind of edgy card I enjoy. Not too much edge, but just enough.
Yeah.
I can
and
imagine
now
they gave him much more spikes.
Yeah, could be. It's time for the odd dragon out.
Odd eyes? Bestial? Let's
no.
go.
Bestial Saronir. This guy's a lion dragon.
That's just a fucking chimera. That's
It's
just
true.
Unchained Chimera.
Yeah, it's just a chimera. I fought this guy in Final Fantasy 16. Like, he's got dragony parts, it's true. Sometimes the chimera is said to be part dragon, but most of his body is just a lion man. He's a pretty chained up lion man. You'll notice that each individual fingy is chained, which has to suck. You can't even bend your fingers.
Yep.
But yeah.
I'm gonna deduct points because it's a chimera.
Yeah. He is still a dark dragon, same stat line as always. Same
he looks like he's
effect.
just got a big fuck off beard.
Yeah. His mane is a beard. It's very funny.
Well, it's got two distinct hair colors, or colors, like the beard and then the back hair is different.
But yeah, Saronir is the only one of these four names we've talked about so far which is not limited in any form. It's because his effect is not that great. It says you can send a Bestial or branded spell trap from your deck to your graveyard when he's sent to the graveyard, except Saronir. So he is a foolish. That can be powerful. It's not as broken as the other shit that Bestials can do.
His other leg looks fucked. I don't know what it is, but the way that his hand is covering it, like the leg in the background.
Yeah, the foreshortening is kind of weird, yeah. Because his other leg is, like, bent normally, but his other one is, like, way back. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah,
now,
this is my least favorite Bestial so far.
Now, we're going to talk about some other cards that are not, they're not Bestials, they are the Bestial. The Bestial.
Huh?
Yeah, no, they said their name is actually the Bestial. This is the Bestial Albalos.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. Wait, that's the thingy.
Yes. This is Despian Proskenion, aka Dogmatica Nexus, with Lubellion writing it. We'll talk about Lubellion in a second, but he's later alphabetically. But yeah, Bestial Albalos. He's a big boy.
This reminds me of a fucking Monster Hunter enemy. You need to fucking look it up.
But yeah, it's Lubellion piloting the double dragon mobile, Pope Mobile, with kind of like these Konami orbs forming eyes, and he's got about 4 million laser beams to shoot at me.
Here we go.
I'm just imagining this guy as a boss in either 14 or 16, and just drawing all his big fucking laser lines.
Yep. Good. For anyone who's played Monster Hunter Generations, this is Nakakos.
It does kind of look like that. Also, is this a lich octopus with a dragon tail?
This is a lich octopus squid thing, and its tentacles are like bony dragon heads.
That's pretty rad.
And occasionally the tentacles will go underground and pop up with a new dragon skull head that it uses different abilities from.
Of course they'll do that. But yeah, so the Bestial Albalos is a big fucking boy. He is a light dragon, I think the Bestials might be lights. We'll check out in a second. This is a level 12 dragon with 3,500 attack and 3,500 defense. This cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by tributing 2 bestial monsters. While this card, summoned this way, is in the monster zone, negate the effects of all face-up, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and Link monsters on the field.
Oh, Jesus.
So, just continuing the Dogmatica fuck you. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect,
Nope.
banish all face-down cards in the extra decks face-up until your opponent's end phase. So, if you remove this guy to get your extra deck monsters back, fuck you, banish your extra deck. It's only temporary, but still.
Yeah, Jesus fuck.
Now, note, this doesn't fuck over Pendulum decks. Your face-up Pendulum monsters on the extra deck stay there. But yeah, no, that's just such a fuck you.
This guy seems even more of a fuck you than bringing the Arc out onto the field.
Well, he has to be, leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. So your opponent has to get rid of him. But yeah, that's still a big, spicy floating effect.
Sorry, was Synchro included in that list of negations?
Yes. Ritual, Fusion,
Okay.
Synchro, Xyz, and Link. The only target is is Pendulum. Those are not included. Which is kind of funny because Ritual monsters are from the main deck, so you know. But yeah, there's no Pendulums in the Abyss Saga, so. But yeah, Albalos is a big
that
boy.
makes sense. It is purely stopping everything in the Albaz Saga.
Yeah. And actually, let me double check. Is this guy in? Nope, he's not in Master Duel yet. That makes sense.
Oh.
Let me show
That's
Lubellion
simple.
first, then. Lubellion is definitely in Master Duel. I think I've pulled a Lubellion.
I'm straining my eyes to see what the fuck he is on this thing.
Yeah, we'll get his actual art out here. Lubellion, by the way. Albalos, by the way, not limited because it's a big scary ball sponsor. It requires 2 to tribute, and it does that. Lubellion is limited in the OCG. Here he is. So, canonically, the Bestial Lubellion is obviously sharing a name with Lubellion the Searing Dragon, which was one of Aluber's forms. So, this is Lubellion gets lubed up as a Bestial. So, he takes on the Bestial powers.
This is just an evil Kamen Rider.
Yeah, kinda.
He's just got that look to him. And also giant shoulder pads.
Huge shoulder pads, huge wings, huge knee pads. Well, not the knee pads aren't actually huge, but he's got big leg
So this is
armors.
basically Aluber as Lubellion becoming Bestial?
Yes. Not through a fusion, though he is a level 8. But yeah, he's also got Aluber's usual Konami orbs.
Yeah, the glowing.
So yeah.
I feel like it's a design-wise, from Lubellion / Aluber to this, feels like a downgrade. But it's still a pretty good card.
Yeah.
Looking.
It's not as perfect as we last saw him, because that was technically the big red abyss dragon he was. But yeah, he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
He is a light dragon, level 8. He's got 2,500 attack, 3k defense. He cannot be normal summoned or set. You must summon him from your hand or graveyard by tributing a level 6 or higher dark dragon monster. So yeah, he transforms into this form.
So remember how like the previous form had like a bunch of flames to it as well?
Yeah.
With the background of this, it's like he's absorbed all the power and went, let me just change forms.
Yeah, basically. You can only
is what
special
pops
summon
out.
Lubellion once per turn. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, add a Bestial monster from your deck to your hand, except Lubellion. During your main phase, place 1 branded continuous spell trap from your deck face up on the field. So this gets around Ash Blossom. Also gets around needing to set traps, because this lets you place it face up. So yeah, Lubellion is big fuck you. He is limited in the OCG for this reason. I would not be surprised if at some point he's not also limited in the TCG as well, because he's just very rude. He's not as easy to summon as the other Bestials, but still is just like, yo, trap card, boom, face up. Spell card, done. And there's a lot of these good ones. But so, let me pull this up. Technically, we should probably leave this last one for later, because it is also supposed to be kind of a post art, but I don't think we need to overcomplicate it as well, because it's just very simple. Because, let me pull it up for you. Here it is. The card that's not yet in Master Duel. The Bestial Aluber. The gay sex himself. But not really. But yeah, this is technically Aluber, what Aluber's doing after all the fight is done. So he's got access to some void holes. He's got access to a chair. He's got Cartesia's little red sword gem. He also has some new horns on his head. That's cool.
So this is after, quote-unquote, he loses? And this is just
Yes, this is after the battle. Aluber doesn't actually get got. He escapes. He turns back into a normal boy.
Oh, so... Yeah, it is
just big chill.
Oh, it's a fucking cliffhanger-like thing you see at the end of a series, which is, now that with this power...
Yeah, basically,
me next time.
I'm pretty sure that is what this is supposed to be, is like, as you see Ecclesia and Albaz shooting off into the wild blue yonder. Spoilers. The after credit scene is just, Aluber acting like Thanos, just looking at this red gem, being like, next time. But yeah, this is the Bestial Aluber. That's his name. The Bestial Aluber. He's a big, strong boy.
Omega?
What's up? Can you not hear me? Jack, can you still hear me? How we doing? I'm lighting up.
Okay, there we go. I left and came back. I don't know what happened.
Discord sometimes does get weird. I've had to do that before. But
He'll
yes.
collect all the rock candy next time.
He'll get all of your rock candies.
It does feel like the way he's posing like this, he's like, this is the true reason I started all this nonsense, just for this one gem.
And you know what? He might have. I don't fucking know. He's a weirdo. I don't actually think it's ever been explicitly explained what Aluber is doing, because remember, he shows up first as a Despian, but then also becomes he's got his own thing going on with his dragon forms, but then he also becomes a Bestial, and then he becomes a separate Bestial. So like, I don't fucking know. Maybe this was all a ploy to get those Dragon Kings unchained. I don't fucking know, man. Anyway, Bestial Aluber, the Bestial Aluber, is a Dark Dragon Tuner, level 4, 1800 attack, 0 defense. This card's name becomes Fallen of Albaz while in the field or graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can discard a card, target a dragon monster your opponent controls, or in their graveyard, activate the appropriate effect. Send this card to the graveyard, take control of that monster until the end phase. That monster on the field. Send this card to the graveyard, special summon that monster from the graveyard to your field. You can use each effect once per turn. So yeah. He is a tuner, so he does let you access certain synchro plays in this deck. So that's cool. And he has some niche effect because he counts as Fallen of Albaz, and also he can take control of dragons. He's not really that good a card, but he's funny. I haven't seen him a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, the fact that he counts as Fallen of Albaz is what's really amazing about this. Like, wait a second.
Yeah, this is yet another copy of Albaz. And, he also works well in the graveyard where he goes, so there's a lot of interplay there, but its actual effects are very meta-dependent, so, your opponent has to be playing dragons for it to work, so it's weird. That does kind of make him like an anti-pick for Bestials, which is funny, but yeah. Okay. Bestials do have one extra deck monster, which is also not in Master Duel yet, so I will have to fucking Google him.
I'm just loving just how fucking just extra Aluber is. He's still got the code and everything.
He is such a theater kid. But yeah, so remember how I said that some guys are just Dark Souls boss? Anyway, here's Bestial Dispater.
It's the Gaping Dragon!
He's the goopiest dragon.
If you also said this was like some kind of Nyarlathotep, I'd also believe that.
Yeah, it really could be. He's very tentacly.
Because it looks like he's got like the front-facing thing where like one of the purple tentacles is coming out of, but he's also got like one of the dragon heads up there, like facing back.
Yeah.
He's like a fucking flood monster.
Yeah. He's
Makes
got
me
all
think of the
kinds of
Elite
fucked up
Floods.
shit. Yeah.
What did this
So,
come about?
so the general consensus is what this is supposed to be is, Maximus is trying to become God. He collected all the star power in the universe. But he required Cartesia for that, all 666 Saint Souls. Slight spoilers for later, but you guys may recall that one of those Saint Souls gets separated from Cartesia. So the general consensus of the lore, and let me double check if the EX book clarifies this, but this is related to a Dogmatica card we haven't seen, which we will cover next time, Dogmatica Matrix and Albazoa. But basically, your boy Maximus is trying to get closer to being the Goop God. But, you know, he was supposed to, you know, take all this stuff, but he went crazy, and then, you know, he worked up all this thing, and this is his ultimate form of just, like, gooping all his stuff together. He eats our dragons like Albazoa and makes Dispater. The idea is that it's not as strong because he fucked it up a little.
It makes me think of what is it? Fucking Devil May Cry 4 when big evil Pope Man is like, I'll become the new god. Or Sparta,
Yes.
and just does something stupid.
Yeah, kind of. Basically, the proper lore, as far as I can tell from the EX book, is Dispater occurs when Maximus is basically like, wait, what's that? The good guys are winning? I thought I was supposed to win. Well,
opens up his script, he go from a looper.
Yeah, he's just saying, hold on a minute. I should be winning. What's that? What is that Aluber guy doing? Also, by the way, that script clarifies that Ashion Assassin is the other half of Maximus. It's like his he like split his half off because he has a line in the EX book that says, what is that guy's other half, speaking about Albaz, because this is when Albaz becomes big shiny dragon. We'll talk about that later. What is that guy's other half Aluber doing to my other half, the assassin? How many centuries have I spent building up this world? Blah, blah, blah. What have I done? I will welcome God. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Albazoa, which was his previous form, which we'll discuss later, eats all the dragons and then becomes Dispater, which is goopy.
Okay. Fucking, Ventus beats the fuck out of, I don't know, Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. It's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is basically... This is Maximus's baby rage moment, and he eats all the dragons, and he becomes the goopiest dragon.
Yes, and also, for some reason, confirming that fucking weirdo Clawman and the Pope are the same person to split.
Yeah.
As well. Just offhandedly.
Yeah, you know, just because we needed to actually finish that up. But yeah, so Dispater, by the way, is a Roman name. It's the name of a god, which it means literally rich father. It's one of the names for the god of the underworld, also known as Pluto. So, you know, it's funny because it's got Father Pater in there, you know, which is got religious significance, but also is an underworld god. This is a Dark Dragon Synchro, level 10, 3535. Same stats as not Albazoa, Albalos. His materials are one tuner and one non-tuner, or one or more non-tuner dragon monsters. So, again, Bestial Aluber does have a place in the Bestial deck because he is a level 4 tuner, and most of your Bestials are level 6 dragons, so you can make this guy. But you can target one banished light or dark monster, special summon it to your field. Any banished light or dark monster, you special summon it. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, target one banished card, shuffle it into the deck, then if you shuffled it into your deck, destroy that monster. If you shuffle it into your opponent's deck, negate that effect. You can only use each effect once per turn. So yeah, Dispotter is a really weird floodgate. He lets you extend by special summoning any banished light or dark, and then he lets you stop a monster effect either by popping that monster or negating its effect, and also hypothetically can let you recover your own banished monsters by shuffling them back. So, while I don't think he's enough to take a pure Bestial strategy to the top, he's still a pretty good card in Bestials, or any dragon deck that can synchro. There's a lot of tuners and synchros and shit in Dragon Link already, you know, rockets and shit, so this guy's pretty solid. Pretty spooky despite being so goopy.
Pretty solid. I don't like looking at him for too long.
No, don't you worry. We'll get him out here. We'll grab a couple of new spell cards that are relevant for this.
Cool. At some point, I just found something I need to share with you at some point, Omega. Because for some reason, someone decides to do Pokemon-inspired Mega Man forms.
Oh. Neato.
Oh, it's a Luber again.
Yeah, this is the spell card. No, trap card, sorry. But it's a spell trap. Branded Beast. So this is a Luber becoming a Bestial. He's decided he's gonna become Lubellion. Because this is a continuous trap, which, by the way, Lubellion can put face up. Once per turn during the main phase, if you control a Bestial, you contribute a dragon monster, target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. During your end phase, target a branded spell trap in your graveyard, place it face up. A continuous spell trap. You can use this effect once per turn. So it's got a soft once per turn and then a hard once per turn to place, recover your spells and traps. So yeah, solid card.
Yeah, solid. The art also looks pretty fucking cool, though.
He's jamming. And then,
He looks like a goat demon with those horns.
He's fucking rocking. He's got the weird finger. This is Branded Regained. So this is Cartesia giving Druis Worm the hug he deserves.
That little bit of Ecclesia going, cool dragons.
Dragons. So this is a continuous spell. By the way, I think they had to do it this way because the way we broke up. Technically, this card's name in Japanese is better because it translates literally as just rebranded.
It's all the dragons going, Mom?
Mommy? Sorry, Mommy? But yeah, so, Branded Regained is a continuous spell. It says, if a light or dark monster is banished, except during the damage step, target one of those monsters, place that monster on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw a card. You know, use this effect once per turn. So yeah, it just turns your Bestial activations into +1s. If
a light or dark?
Yes.
Yeah,
it just means that you shuffle it back, which, honestly, if you're DD crowing, putting it at the bottom of the deck is also brutal anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then, once per turn, if your opponent normals or specials, you can target a Bestial in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effective Branded Regained once per chain. So it's a soft once per turn, but only once per chain. So if you have multiple copies and your opponent special summons a lot, you can summon back a lot of Bestials. So yeah, pretty good card.
You did miss Lubellion, Ezra, sorry.
Yeah, we are wrapping up. The stream will be over soon, though, so you can catch the fucking, whatchamacallit, the VOD, and see what we said.
Yeah, but if you look up a bit, you can see we've mentioned, like, NZ's put it in text chat. Bestial Lubellion is just like a weird Kamen Rider boss.
Yeah. Well, if it's time
Speaking of which, one of these days we'll probably get you unlucky to watch Kamen Rider, and then you can hate us for that.
Maybe. Alright.
This also does make Druis look pretty fucking cool, though. This angle, the helmet.
Yeah. Alright.
All the Bestials, great looking art, except for that one guy. That guy can get fucked. The one who just looks like a chimera. He's the Steve of the group.
Yeah, so, I believe the Fail Patrol poll is open still. It says it's open. Got 7 days left. Gaia is still just slightly in the lead with 50%. Spiral is just behind it, though. So there's still
No.
room to vote to sketch some stuff up, or just solidify that Gaia lead if you feel like it.
Guys, we can make a joke. If Spiral wins, we can say, but we're talking about Spiral Spear Strike or Spiral Fusion.
There are some funny things you can do there, yes.
Also, just before I forget, here's the thing for Omega I mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is neato. It's a cool crossover.
Yep.
There are some other YG organization news they got going on. You know, we've got, a Rescue Hedgehog coming.
Exceed the Pendulum.
Yes. We made the Link 3 version of Beyond. They made a dark hole dragon. A dragon to search dark hole.
Yeah, they did.
There is a new TCG archetype, Tistina, which many people have made references to Ort from Type Moon before, because it's weird crystals that grow more crystals and take over stuff.
Doesn't the art for Dark Hole Dragon has the dragon literally appearing out of basically a dark hole?
Yeah.
Which is, a neat fact. You don't get the lower half, but, theming.
Yeah. We know that there's going to be or actually, I think it already came out, but there's a Structure Deck R for Fire Kings. They made a new Fire King deck. It's got some new cards in it.
What would they need to add, though?
Bigger, scarier Fire Kings.
Because I remember I like, when I was in university, I bought this Fire King Structure Deck.
Yeah, well, they made a new one. That's what they do. We do know more about one of the deck build pack decks, Memento Monsters. While their boss monster is unique, the rest of them are like weird necromanced versions of old shitty vanilla cards. Like they've got Memento Horn Dragon, which is Trihorn Dragon.
Oh, really?
They've got Memento Fair Witch, which is Fairy Witch, shit like that. Memento Mace, which is Key Mace, shit like that. Goblin
Can you give me
Calligrapher.
a link so I can have a look at these, please?
Yeah, I'll fire it off as soon as I... Oh, I'm already in Fail Betrayal. Haha! Easier than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like weird crystally skull versions of like old vanilla monsters, which is cute.
Is there... Okay, what about the Nether Skull Dragon, though?
That's just their big boss. He doesn't seem to be anything in particular, other than he is named after the Aztec, god of the dead.
Wait, Memento Mace, which one is that meant to be?
Key Mace. It's at the bottom.
Yes.
Key Mace,
A
Goblin
goblin.
Calligrapher, yeah. Fairy Witch, and Tatsunoto Shigo,
Yeah, which one?
the seahorse.
Sorry.
You'd know him if you saw him.
I don't. I probably. Yeah.
Because they're all, like I said, all except the actual boss monster are just goofy-ass vanillas.
I like that. I like when they bring those back. Still eagerly awaiting my Inpachi.
Hey, you never know at this rate, Yeah, I don't know if they're supposed to be openly...
Retrain, technically.
Yeah. I don't know if they're supposed to be directly related to Eldritch, but they probably are similar vibes.
It's just like the side, like if the crypt over from Eldritch, that's why they are. So that wonderful image I found of like, what is it, Dragon Maid Laundry going, I've got a new friend and it's Dragon Maid Eldritch.
Alright. But yeah, that's about it, actually, Had a nice 2 hours. We're here. Look forward to, wrapping some stuff up next time. There's some funny things. And I guess we'll see you then. I'm kind of surprised that neither Dallas nor Axe joined us, but I guess we're busy. Loth, I'll let you be free to enjoy the Final Fantasy XIV update. We're streaming Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow, by the way, from my perspective.
It's kind of updating for me.
I'm gonna try and continue on Sword and Blood MSQ stuff, and try not to be distracted by the fact that I can access the Heavensward Hildebrand quests anyway. Which I should do at some point, because they're important. But, we might want to do more MSQ stuff.
You've got a while to go, my friend, until you reach the next dungeon or
Yeah,
duty.
so that's probably why we're gonna keep working at that. But yeah, keep that in mind. So thanks everybody
And
for
you
tuning
gotta
in.
deal with.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, let me wait till off stream to say it.
Okay.
It might get you in trouble.
Yeah. I'll wrap it up. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to give us a like. You can leave your comments below. Join our Discord. It's got a dedicated Trad Games channel where we like update on Yu-Gi-Oh and some other card games and stuff as well. You can make sure to subscribe to get more. Ring the bell so you know when we're posting streams and stuff. Consider supporting us on Patreon. Like I said, get access to polls and other stuff and other fun things. And also, you can join our channel memberships for access to membership badges and emotes you can use and stuff. Consider that as well. And either way, we'll be seeing you next time. So good night, everybody. Have fun.
Take care.